Hey, so I want to show you my version 3 of my holster logic. Version 2 you will have seen in the holster video. Version 1 pretty much looks exactly the same as version 2, just a couple of tweaks on this element. It was pointing to a different way of equipping the weapon, so a different variable came in. So I'll showcase what's going on. The difference between version 2 in the video I've got with holsters and version 3, this one is I've incorporated functions as functionality for both the holster toggle logic here. You see I've got rid of the flip flop and the multi gate. I don't know if you saw the multi gate, but I got rid of that in exchange for function. And then in the ammo logic, instead of having it create it, otherwise destroy it, it was too destructive. I don't really like destroying stuff when you got to recreate it straight after. But also, uh, it just caused a bit of a nightmare combined with the flip flop and or the multi gate, where I've got it to when you load a game or when you go through a door and it loads again. If you watch the save load slot event dispatcher logic, this will make more sense. I needed it to persist. So if you had a weapon, persist that weapon, and it was just causing some drama with all the holster booleans. So I'd have to reset them. So that sets the scene for why it's now version 3, as well as making it more straightforward. If I just go through it, so imagine you've got a weapon. So you've got a weapon, so then this variable's made. So then it's not null, true. So it goes to the holster toggle. I feed in the current is holstered, so it defaults on true on the level. That'll have to change on the event dispatches if you've actually got a weapon. I'll have to change the default. So right now, so it is holstered in. Yeah. The reason why there's an in and out is because you can't have just is holstered named twice. So true. Okay, so it's currently holstered. True. So you run the function. Okay, so it's unholstered, and then I feed that to the event dispatcher, which just logs that variable. It just goes, hey, it's unholstered now. Hey, is holstered false now? So feed it, and then your output is holstered out. Well, it's not holstered anymore. So then you go through here, and it goes, okay, so it's holstered out. True or false? Well, it's false now because we've taken the weapon out. So false. So it's been just unholstered. That triggers the animation. I'll showcase this as well. That triggers the animation to do it where he takes it off his back. Then I did have logic to time how long it took for it to flag as just unholstered or just holstered false. And then after that flag, when that flag happens, and it does a different animation, and then it creates the widget. But I've actually put this into the file structure of the weapon. So if you see here on the bottom left, there's time to unholster, time to holster. And when that delay completes, then it triggers the next steps. So from your perspective, when that delay completes, the ammo widget appears or the ammo widget disappears. So yeah, so it's holstered, delay, just holstered. Because the ammo widget's it's either not created yet, or if it's first time, or it's invisible because you've toggled it off and you've reholstered and then you unholstered again. I did do the ammo widget create. So if ammo widget's valid, which if you start the game it's not valid because you haven't created it yet, then but if it is valid, so it's the second time you've done it, then just feed that ammo widget as an output. If it's not valid, create it, add it to the viewpoint, and then set what you've created as that ammo widget, and then outputs it. So you pop back to here, and then we feed that in. Well, first of all, we just set the visibility. I like to set the visibility outside of functions when I can, just so I can eyeball it quickly on the event graph, this place. So it's visible. Brilliant. I'll showcase the first bit. So you've got it in. So triggers all logic. Ammo appears. Ammo widget appears. Then let's say we go to holster it again. So then it flags through here. Yeah. Oh, it is holstered in false. Okay, false. So initiate holstering it. Flag, hey, we're holstering the weapon. The output is like, is holstered. Yeah, it's true. So then so true is this one. I know I've crisscrossed it. Actually, bad habit. So that triggers an animation. Time to holster. We already saw what time to holster was on here. That one. 1 second. After the delay triggers the next animation. Oh well, the next flip book to play, I should say. Then which then goes to like animation blueprint on PaperZD to say, okay, so just holstered false. There's lots of booleans to decide how it visually looks on the, which 2D sprites it picks, what essentially what your character, what's animation state they're in. So okay, so you've just holstered it, yeah. You don't need to create it because it's already created. What you need to do is toggle it off. I used to destroy it at this point. So then I feed the ammo widget in, you saw from here. So whether we've created it and set it or whether it's already valid, it flows it through. Is it visible? Visible counts for visible, non-hit testable, self and children, and self only. What that means is if you're watching older Unreal videos, they probably won't call it non-hit testable, they might call it like visible, not hit testable, so it can be a bit confusing. Essentially, visible is it's there and it's in control. Collapsed is it just like collapses it, like expand and collapse. Hidden is it's disappeared. Non-hit testable, self and children means that widget and any widgets you've bolted inside of it in like the user widget creator interface thing. You can't touch it. You can't click it with your mouse. You can't interact with it. Good way of stopping it block interactivity. So if I had this on visible, actually, why don't I just show you, just so you can understand it. So I bang this on visible. Bearing in mind I can move these right. Oh, it still works. Ignore me. So ignore that last bit I said. It didn't work before when I did it differently. So yeah. So it's non-hit testable simply because I don't need people to drag it. I don't need to touch it. I just want it to show you it. And then because it's visible, true, we want to hide it. But if it's not visible, we want to make it visible. And all this feeds back to there. And then, yeah, it completes. And then for the next time you press the holster button, which is H, just showcase it. So if you look on the left, you'll see the variable. So holstered true, still holstered true. If I press that button, it'll say holstered false, just unholstered true, just holstered false. So we're looking for, so it's true, false, false right now. We're expecting it to be false, true, false. And then it'll turn to false, and then it'll turn to false, false, false. False, true, false, 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 and then that's the animation's triggering. If I do it again, we'll see holstered true, just unholstered false, just holstered true. So you see true, false, true, and then it'll default to true, false, false. And there we go. And you see that is what makes the widget appear, reappear. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's version 3. I did a bit of a detail, and I'm going into a bit of detail, but I thought it'd be useful just so you're not like, oh, cool, what's this? You can actually understand the process, and then it'll make it a hell of a lot easier. I don't need that anymore. It'll make it a hell of a lot easier to use this information to replicate your own. Yeah, best of luck.